Okay, so next we had little Stevie Wonder. We had Jaylen and Jan Dan.
Mm-hmm.
For Once in My Life. I love this
So
song.
good. So good.
This one is just Stevie's just feel good songs. Like it's very early Stevie.
Yes.
You know, pre songs in the key of life. It's Motown Stevie. And I loved it. First thing I heard, I said, Jandan, I said, watch your back phrasing, dude. I said, it sounds like it's dragging a bit.
This is what I'm talking about.
This song is deceptively difficult because it's like your vocal for once in my life. Like, dun, 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 dun. Like, here's the thing. It is of another genre generation, okay? So,
Generation.
they didn't, generation, right? So they did not backphrase them, right?
Right.
And I learned this. I had to learn this when I did a show and it was like older music that I had to sing to realize like we are so trained now as singers to come up in the age that we came up with in R&B and stuff like that and so on and so forth, that back phrasing is kind of, in internal, right?
Yes.
And this is a song that, in my opinion, you need to stay on the beat with.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. Like, and I felt like you were like, for one in my life. Dun, 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 dun. And I felt like the music was giving me so that's the big thing. Jaylen, young man, you know what? First of all, I am so proud of you. I'm so proud of you for coming on this show when your voice was going through the change. Which a lot of kids, a lot of boys who go through puberty, their voices will go through the change. Will you be like this? And you'll sing, and all of a sudden you're singing like this. And you're like, well, what the heck? And you're like this. And you're like, what the heck is going on here?
Right.
I cannot wait for your voice to settle because you are going to be a vocal phenom. Like seriously, just give it some time, Jaylen. Really, because I hear it. We hear it. We hear just a powerhouse, wonderful voice. Go and listen, Jaylen. You're really young. There's a singer that I want you to listen to. I want you to listen to two different. I want you to listen to the singer as before he hit puberty, and I want you to listen to him after he hit puberty. And his name is Tevin Campbell. I want you to go and listen to Tevin Campbell. When he first came out, he had a song that went, "Tomorrow will be a better you, better me," and that's the octave that he sang it in. And now you see, Jaylen, I was singing it in the higher octave, but I had a voice just like yours, sir, and this is why I'm taking a little bit more time. And then when Tevin hit puberty and he came out when he was just a little bit older than you, with one of the biggest R&B hits of all time, I think Babyface record on Can We Talk. So I want you to listen to that and him singing that. The voice is still high because you
it is.
Still have a high voice, but it's settled. And this is what you're going to be like. This is the type of singer you're going to be. So just give it some time, sir. I thought you did a superb job. You were like, I felt like Stephanie, he was like determined. He's like, I'm not going to crack. I'm not going to crack. I'm not going to crack. But he was, I felt like he was, okay, I'm playing with my registers here. I don't quite know where my voice is going to go, but I'm here and I'm trying my hardest. And young man, I thought you navigated it beautifully. There's so many people your age would have been like, nope, can't do it, or their voice is just cracking, and there's nothing wrong with that because it's a national natural evolution of your voice. Jandan, bruh, some of them runs were fire. Some of those runs that you did on your song, I said,
them little sneaky runs.
I said, okay. There's that one run. You're like, I said that. Michael Wood said, oh. Like that one run you did was crazy. And I said, people don't realize how difficult this song is with the timing. So both of you just be careful with that timing. I love the energy that both of them brought, and I love the way that they fed off of one another. I felt like they were giving each other energy to really work their way and navigate through the song.
Definitely. Absolutely. So, like, low-key, Jandan sang this thing down.
Yeah, he did.
Like, he sang this thing down. Again, I got a second chance to listen, and I was like, okay, sir. Okay. Here is my one critique. If I were to have turned the sound completely down and just watched, I would have swore he was singing a ballad.
Yeah.
And that's my issue. Jaylen over there doing his two-step bippity bop. And he was like, here. And Jandan was like, for once in my life. And I was like, oh, the contrast of performance. Like, I just needed him to give a little bit more energy and a little bit more. And it's hard. Trust me, I understand that when you're singing like an up tempo, it is very difficult to sing the thing down as well as move. Like it's a chore. It's a chore. But Jandan sang this thing down.
Yeah, he did. But Michael Bublé to call out a run, dude, that's huge. That's huge.
It was huge. Jaylen came in and I was like, what? The change is occurring because that thing is lower. That thing sat lower than I remember. Yeah. I was so proud for a couple reasons, but mainly because I could tell that number one, the commitment was there. Number two, he had put in the work. And number three, he was fearless. He was like, I am not going to let what is going on with my voice discourage me from doing some of the runs and some of the ornamentations that my heart wants to do, and I'm going to execute it as best as I can. I could see this young man, and this is why, James, I'm scared of him.
Yeah.
I'm scared of Jaylen because I saw him on that stage tuning and feeling like, it was like, okay, this is going a little bit under, but I'm going to flip it here and I'm going to dip it here. And I could see him doing that and I could hear what he was doing. And I was like, not only are you a gifted singer, you are an intelligent singer. And the minute you get full control over that instrument, James, Tevin Campbell, I hear Chris Breezy, like I hear it.
It's unfortunate because I wish Jaylen would be able to come back. Because he's gotten past the blinds. So I don't think you can come back.
No, I think there's been some. And guess what? We got folk coming back that have been either, I know he's been in the blinds. Yeah. I've seen exceptions. I think they need to make an exception for this young man because I forget whether I said this on main feed or on Patreon, but I'm going to say it here. I didn't really think that Jaylen should have been on the show and gone past the blinds just because of the instability of his instrument. Like, he didn't have full control, not of anything of his own fault, because nature. And I just didn't think that it was, not to say it wasn't fair because he wanted to be a part of the show and I understand why. I just would have rather waited to see him and hear him at full capacity and at full control. Mm-hmm. So I do think that he should try to come back like in a year or two because he gonna blow him away. He's special.
special voice caught in a, you know, another singer I want you to listen to who was actually going through the change, but used it to his advantage was Riley Tate. Go back.
Oh, yeah.
Riley would yodel his voice.
He sure would.
The flipping, and like he did it into a sound, which I thought was brilliant. Which actually covered up the change that his voice was going through.
It sure was.
Like, and it sounded like he stylized it, and I was like, I was like, I don't know who taught you how to do that, young man. That was crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. So go back and listen to Riley Tate and listen to what Riley Tate did, because that's the type of voice you have. It's amazing, amazing. Okay, so who picked?
This is Team Gwen. So before I tell you who Gwen picked, there were a couple things of note during this discussion and the feedback, and even during the performance.
Yeah, so during hear what they said about Jaylen.
So during the performance, Snoop was singing throughout the whole thing.
Of course.
And Bublé was up dancing, which I just felt was so encouraging and so wonderful because it was just a show of support. And he even said, like, I saw Jaylen over there like dancing and I love this song too. So I felt like I should get up and dance too. And I love that. Reba was in tears at the end because I think she was just so moved by Jaylen and Jan Dan's performance as well, especially Jaylen being in kind of this vulnerable situation that he's in. And the feedback is pretty much what we said as far as performance went and as far as Jaylen going through his vocal change. In the end, Gwen picked Jan Dan to move on. And this was interesting because here's another thing that's going on. Jan Dan's wife was pregnant. Was pregnant at the time. He said that she was currently in labor. Or no, this was her due date. The date of when they did their battles was her due date, and she was 2 centimeters dilated. But Jan Dan moves on in the competition.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Y'all, please bring Jaylen back. Please.
Hashtag bring Jaylen back.
Yes, absolutely.